and Sports. You know, it was an open door meeting where the media was even invited, and everybody was wondering what the outcome of the meeting would be. But I think after listening to the deliberations from both camps, I think the future is bright for Gambian football. The minister and the new executive has both made renewed calls for us to open up a new page for the development of Gambian football, and the ministry also showing government's continuous commitment to the development of football in the country. I think the meeting was very, very fruitful, and should be the kickstart of a very, very busy period for Gambian football.
Abdullah, the first interface between the ministry and the new GFF, that is the Gambia Football Federation executives. What do you make of it?
I wasn't there, but thanks to your report on the TV, I saw everything that happened, part of it, and I think I joined my colleague and others, you know, other stakeholders in Gambian sports in applauding the move, because, you know, first and foremost, it officially ends a very, I would say, turbulent period in Gambian football, and well, the newly elected president of the Football Association, Kebe, meeting the minister speaks volumes of, you know, because on the day that the president was supposed to meet the minister, somebody asked me this question: was the ministry backing any candidate? Were they partially impartial to any, you know, candidate in the elections? I said, well, publicly, I haven't seen the ministry back any candidate in this process. You know, and so often than not, in other countries, especially in Africa, when controversies like this happen, the sports ministry tend to back they tend to have their own choice of candidate for the presidency. And in this case, you know, we really applaud the Ministry of Youth and Sports for being very impartial and, you know, following due process. And well, it was like Jai said, we hope it's the beginning of a very fruitful relationship. I think the only key player missing there during that meeting was the football players themselves. The journalists were there, the other sides were there. And normally the relationship between the sports ministry, football authorities, and the footballers are also key. And I think, well, they will take next month's opportunity when the boys come to town in the game against Tanzania to arrange sort of a meeting with them to, you know, because clearly the morals are down, and you could see the turmoil that was going on around Gambian football was affecting the players on the pitch.
Results on the pitch.
The results on the pitch, exactly. So it's a good initiative.
Like you said, good speeches were made, and particularly the new president of the Gambia Football Federation, Kebe, again made a very powerful speech, reiterating his vision and the vision of his other executive members in taking Gambian football to where everybody desired. And he talked about football being a very powerful source of economic development, which is quite true. Yeah, I believe if we have a good structure in place, we have all the mechanisms in place, our football develops, I believe it could be a very good source of employment and also a very good contributor to the socio-economic development of this country, like it is happening in other countries. That was a particular point that I picked in his speech, and I said, wow, this is very important. Yeah,
the key word there is, you know, the economic development of the country. And also what you said there, the key word that I picked there from was vision. Because what we wanted was at the end of the normalization process. Now, we want a leadership at the Football Association, those with a vision. Vision in the sense that the right people who will take football to the next level. You see, football has passed a stage where people believe it is only played to make fun. I mean, it's a major enterprise, Today we are talking of what, you know, particular player being quoted for over 100 million pounds sterling. You know, I mean, if we can have that kind of money in our football, come on. You know, it's not only going to benefit football, but also the entire country. So it is very, very important. And also the minister made a point of the fact that we have those in the private sector in the new executive, which is very, very important, because government alone cannot do it. Government over the years has been pumping millions. I mean, we cannot even begin to tell how much that President Jammeh's leadership has spent into Gambian football. We're talking of football alone here, not sports. Okay? But then, government alone cannot do it, and we need the involvement of the private sector, which is key. And I think the future is very, very brighter. We have to make sure that all that has been said, we make sure that we put them into practice so that football will be played at the highest level here. I want to be traveling from Gambia from Banjul to go to Basse to watch a national league. Okay, I want to see my friends from Jali playing in the national league, making money out of it. So you see, but I think if we put all hands on deck, we'll be able to achieve it. It's a very, very tedious task. Let nobody joke about it. It's a tedious task, but it is something that is achievable.
I think what you said about some of the executive members who, they are pumping money into football. Well, looking at Kebe. Kebe is the president of the Serekunda Sports Development Association, arguably one of the most attractive zones when it comes to Nawetan football in the country. Well, you can argue between East and Brikama. And if you go to Brikama, Basiru Bajo is now the third vice president of the GFA, and he's been spending a lot of money Brikama football, and he's been paying even Nawetan players, I made to understand. That's why most first division the teams are attracted to go there. And some of the other individuals, Keba Toure, for instance, is the president of Gamtel Football Club. He's also, well, we are not expecting him to bring in all the resources of Gamtel and put it into the game, but I mean, his ideas would help. And Yuki also. Yeah, exactly. So,
but it should not boil down to all those people. All private sector should come on board. You understand, and invest into our football. We have the Super Nawetan is coming very soon, and we have a particular bank that has already, sponsored that some time ago. So we need others also to come on board and take ownership of certain aspect of our sports and then move our sports forward. I believe with the new crop of executive coming on board, fresh, I think the future looks bright, although time will tell.
Yeah, of course, and it wouldn't be long. I think somebody asked me when are we going to start judging the new GFA executive. I told them, well, probably after their honeymoon, because already next month Tanzania is coming to town. Of course, well, everything boils down to matters on the pitch.
Yeah, matters on the pitch.
If results are not going your way, you will start to be criticized.
Yeah, although we should not judge them by the Tanzania game.
Yeah, of course.
That one we know you should not judge them by that. But one thing is certain, the new executive have a lot of work to do. Especially with this new system of the federation that is coming up, which is totally a new system in the country. So
I think their first impression will be very important.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, change the whole set of the organization of the game prior to try to impress the Gambian public. And that first impression will be really key
to win over the fans.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I believe the Tanzania game will do that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's a good opportunity for them.
Well, let's now move to matters beyond our borders and head straight to Europe. Okay, but now, I don't know where to start. Which league is the best league? Let me ask that question first. Is it La Liga? Is it the English Premier League? Is it the Bundesliga? Is it...
It's difficult to tell. It's difficult to tell. First of all, before
actually, it's difficult.
It's not as straightforward as that. First, you need to establish what makes the league the best. You have to establish that fact first, and then before you begin to say which league is the best. But based on performance on the pitch, I think the past couple of seasons, the Bundesliga was undoubtedly the best, because last year the Bundesliga provided the two finals of the UEFA Champions League. Bayern played in the semi-finals last season. This is the previous season. So based on what's been happening on the pitch, I think the Bundesliga has been the dominant force.
Based on public opinion, I go in for the English Premier League.
Is it because you're a Manchester United fan?
Well, not actually, because, okay, top players, if you ask top players in your, probably let's say, the whole argument, the Bundesliga just came into contention for the past couple of seasons, like you said, but it has been all along English Premier League and the Spanish La Liga. And if you ask most players, if you look at Premier League players who want to play their football outside England, they will either tell you, in Spain, I want to play for either two clubs, Real Madrid or Barcelona. But if you ask players from Spain, from the La Liga, could come from the La Liga and could settle into any team in the Premier League. You've seen
anyway, like
a top striker in Spain,
but then look at it. In England, the